Hi, this is episode number 74 of the Silverfox Hustle podcast. And if you don't already know, we are out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere. So don't forget to click on the follow and subscribe button. Now, today on the show, on episode 74, we have a special one as well. We've got two guests in the house. We've got two boxers in the house. And one is a 3 times bronze medalist at the SEA Games. He turned pro and then won the IBO Intercontinental Featherweight title, and also was the first Singaporean to win a world title in pro boxing when he won the World Super Featherweight title in 2017. He retired not so long ago, but he is very busy running Legends Fight Sport and also heavily involved in coaching the next generation of boxers here in Singapore. Now, speaking of the next generation, we've got another boxer in the house, and she is definitely the next generation. She joined the sport by chance, by the way, and we're going to talk to her about that. But she has grown immensely and is now the national champion and recently beat the top-ranked Australian boxer in the Legacy Boxing Championship in Singapore. And I'm sure she is gunning for more. Welcome to the Silverfox Hustle podcast, Mr. Muhamad, the Chosen Wan, Ridhwan and Danisha Mathialagan.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm blessed.
Yeah, hello.
Both of you, how has it been for the past few weeks? Have you guys been busy, and what's been like for you? We start off with Ridhwan. How have you been?
I think everything's been really crazy. Everything's all over the place. I'm trying to get into my role as the head coach of the women's boxing.
Right.
Also at the same time running the national coach responsibilities with the national team.
Right.
So there are a lot of changes, and as you know, when changes happen, people are not comfortable. So it takes some time, but I think slowly things are getting to fall into place.
Yeah.
I think we're getting the rhythm of it,
right?
And I think things are moving the way that we want to. So it's good, I guess.
Nice. You spoke about change, right? And I think that is so perfectly true in every sport, in every organization that you go to, right? When there is something new taking place, people are always against that, that first reaction, right? And it's so true. How about you, Danisha? Been busy?
Well, I'm not as busy as Ridhwan right here. I think being an athlete, I think it's better than managing. I think he can vouch for it lah.
Right.
I think as an athlete, all I need to do is just train, eat, sleep, eat well.
Right.
And just show up for trainings.
Yeah,
it's
nice.
Not as bad as managing a whole team,
You're right. I think we've all, or not, I think both of us have been on that side, the athlete, and then we kept becoming a coach. And I tell you what, being an athlete beats anything, right?
True.
You don't have to think about anything else. Just concentrate on yourself, right?
Correct.
Exactly. Now, we want to get into how you guys have grown, as well as the sport of boxing as well. But we want to just go back a little bit, way back, right, when you were a little kid and something like that. Danisha, we start off with you, right? When you were growing up, what were you like? First of all, do you have siblings? And in school, were you what kind of CCA did you do? Things like that.
Okay, so I was a very active child.
Yep.
I've always been involved in sports in school. So in primary school, I was okay, maybe not sports. I was a girls' guide.
Oh.
I was in girls'
Are you
guide.
really?
Yeah. And
selling
then,
cookies.
Oh yes.
Yeah, then I was in tennis, then in secondary school in netball. So just generally a bit active. Yeah, then I grew up with 2 other sisters. They are a bit more girlier.
Are they younger or?
I'm the middle child.
Right.
So
okay.
I have this middle child syndrome, the forgotten one. Yeah.
Is that true?
It is. I've asked a lot of my friends.
You think so?
Yes, definitely. It is true.
Okay, when you wait. When you say so-called forgotten one, what does it mean, by the way?
Okay, so your parents pay more attention to the older one, and then they're more strict with the older one. Then when the second one comes, they're like, okay. Then the last one comes, it's like, okay, they pay more attention to the last one. So you're sort of.
Okay,
yeah.
right. Understand that. How about you, Ridhwan? Growing up, were you the active one, or you were just?
Nah, not really. I think I was quiet, shy.
Yeah. Were you introverted?
I think so. I think I still am. I don't think I wasn't into sports really. I mean, I at least tried to play football in primary school.
Okay.
I got rejected. Secondary school, I got rejected. So that's a sign that I wasn't really good at sports. Then I ended up being a librarian for some reason. Because I wanted to join NCC.
Okay.
But my mom don't allow it because it's bad for the skin. So I'm like, what? So
in this first 7 minutes of the podcast, I'm listening to some crazy stuff. Your mom stopped you from going to NCC because of bad skin.
yeah, it's because it's gonna be bad for the skin. Yeah, and then also at some point I was in angklung or something in primary school.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wasn't really into sports.
Okay. Interesting,
Yeah.
man. Interesting. And you know, character wise, like looking back, right, way back, right. Character wise, thinking back, did you see something in you that you think could have made you a boxer?
Definitely not. Yeah.
No, right?
No. Okay. I think I was a bit violent as a child, but I wouldn't say-
What do you mean by violence? You beat up your younger sibling, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, it's for fun lah.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
you play, yeah. But then I didn't really see myself in a combat sport lah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Ridhwan, how about you?
No, never
Never,
thought
right?
about it. The word boxing never came across.
Yeah.
In school, never. I can't imagine myself doing this because
It's amazing, man.
yeah, you know, like when people speak to boxers, what's your story? Everybody got their ghetto stories.
Yep.
They got stabbed. They go into gangsters.
Yep.
They go into drugs.
Yep.
No, I just watched too much Rocky movies at one point,
Right.
and that's why I joined boxing.
That means you were clean.
Yeah.
Unlike, like, you know, like the stories like you heard, right?
Yeah.
And you know, we've all watched Mike Tyson story, you know, and those kind of things,
Yeah,
right?
so mine was nothing like that.
Wow. Danisha, I want to talk to you about this. Your work in forensics, and you are an embalmer. Is that the
Yes.
correct word for it?
Correct.
Embalmer.
Yeah, embalmer.
Okay, wait. First of all, right, how did you get into it? Because in the poly you did what is it?
I
Forensic.
did biomedical science.
Okay, and
Yeah.
then
And then I applied for uni after that.
Right.
After I graduated,
Yes,
but
yes.
I got rejected by
Okay.
NUS and NTU. Shame on you. And then
right, shame on you.
Yeah. And then so I just applied for jobs lor, like
Right.
yeah. And then I just chanced upon forensics, and then I was like, why not? You know, just give it a try.
Chance on it where?
On gov.sg.
Okay,
careers,
okay, yep,
yeah.
yep.
And then I applied, and they were the only one that called me back.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I'll take this lor.
Okay, so what do you do in forensics and embalmer? We'll talk about it later. Like
Okay.
in forensics wise, right? What do you do?
So in forensics, so I worked for Health Science Authority last
Okay.
time. So what we do over there is we handle the coroner's cases, natural and unnatural death.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyone that dies unnaturally, meaning like road traffic accident, suicides, whatsoever, we will do an autopsy on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
we try and find out the cause of death or the manner of death.
right.
Yeah.
So when you started out, you knew nothing, right, about it? Like,
I read the job description, then they say do autopsy. And I was like, oh, okay lah, apply. Yeah.
wow. You must have like a strong stomach, right? For that. Like
I think strong nose.
strong nose. It's the smell, is it?
Yeah. Especially like those people who die alone, and then after a few days, right, they get found, and then they're like
What?
bloated and decomposed. Yeah.
In the house, right?
Yeah, in
And
the
then-
house. Yeah.
Can you do that, Ridhwan, this job?
I have no idea. I don't think so.
I'm sure you can.
She's
He was
got
a
no
medic,
emotions.
what?
That's why she can.
Seriously, you got no emotions at all. Maybe that's what makes you a fighter, you know? Maybe, right? Wow, seriously, I don't think I can do that, man. It's like, and okay, how about embalming?
Embalming.
Can you imagine doing all of that? After, hey, it's lunchtime. Let's go.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's
actually,
literally
it
like
makes
that,
you
right?
more hungry because you
What?
smell.
Hey, that's sick, man.
You know, you smell the chemical. It's called formaldehyde, and then it's scientifically proven to make you hungrier, and it does actually. Yeah, so you get really hungry after.
Okay, okay. Another sick question I have to ask, lah. You know, maybe listeners and people watching might want to know, right? What is the worst case that you've seen, without
Worst case, I've seen quite a few. Like worst as in the story or the body.
Yeah, the
Usually the worst ones are those people that jump. So it was this girl, I think she was 18, so she jumped from the pinnacle.
yes,
Yeah,
Duxton.
Yeah, Duxton, the 50-story
yes.
one. Yeah, and then her left side, the limbs detached. Yeah, so we had to. So I basically carried her limb to attach it back.
Wow.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it's quite sad. Sorry for laughing.
Yeah. But
When you say you have to attach it back, means you have to sew it back?
Yeah, we sew it back because we cannot give the leg like that to the family, you know. Yeah.
yeah, when you say it like that, it's like wow.
Yeah.
No, okay. You know, before maybe I had a chance, but now no way. I'm not getting into something like that, man. It's crazy. Ridhwan, no way, man.
No, I don't think I would do it. I mean, we always joke like, you know,
Yeah.
her boyfriend's gonna be in trouble, like, you sleep.
Do you have one, by the way?
No.
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 You gotta like ready, have him ready for all this, man. It's like, but do you think you can go on for like a long time in this line, or is just
I think it's a growing industry because Singapore's an aging population. So embalming wise, definitely because
Okay.
you have more cases. Yeah, because people are always dying.
Interesting, man.
Yeah.
Wow. How about you, Ridhwan? Before you became a boxer, right? Since you said it yourself, you're introverted. You know you're not really the sports like person, right? What were you doing before boxing?
I think I was doing a lot. I've been working a lot since I was in secondary school. You know, like those property agent flyers that they put at your house.
Right.
So I was one of the boys to be doing that.
Putting the flyers in.
Yeah, putting
All right,
in the houses.
right. And then?
So then I went to McDonald's.
Yeah.
Back then when McDonald's uniform was the white, yellow and blue stripes.
Okay.
I did a lot of jobs, logistics, pest
This
control.
was while you finished your what did you do in school? As in,
After I finished my Sec 4, I was already working.
Okay,
I think
okay.
in secondary school I was working. Yeah, in secondary school I was working in McDonald's already.
right.
Yeah, so since then I've been working. And then I went to poly. I did some engineering course. I don't like it, and I quit after 1 month.
After 1 month.
Yeah, after 1 month.
Which poly?
Temasek.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wasn't really into those engineering stuff.
Okay.
So I quit it.
Yeah.
I got a job at Simpang Bedok.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's where I used to hang out nowadays for lunch. That is. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was looking for a job there. Then I wanted to be a cook.
Okay.
But then there was no vacancy.
Right.
But then so I just offered to do like waitering.
Where in Sembang?
Spice.
Spice.
Back then
Right.
before it was this huge. Back then they were only the Western stall.
Right.
Yeah, so and then I
Interesting.
said I will come early 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. to 4 p.m. for free. I will just try to learn the sauces and everything.
Nice.
I think one day one of the main cooks quit, so that
Yeah.
gives me the chance to stay in the kitchen.
Right. And you started like cooking and stuff.
Yeah.
So you're a good cook?
No.
No? At
I
least
can-
a little bit?
I guess okay to survive. It's edible. Nobody's gonna get diarrhea out of
Right,
it.
okay.
Whether it's nice or not, I don't know.
You don't speak about that. Very sensitive, spice and diarrhea
Oh,
and
yeah.
people dying, right?
Now, I think cooking is fun. It's the cleaning up that's crazy, especially when you're in the kitchen, like a commercial space.
Right.
The cleaning is tiring.
Can you cook, Danisha?
Depends. I think I can cook Maggi and fried rice.
Yeah?
That's not too bad, right?
Are you asking me or you asking me for my opinion or what?
Validation.
I don't know about that. Now, Ridhwan, boxing, right? How? Why? Like how?
Why? It's because I told you I was working at Simpang
Yep,
Bedok, right?
yep.
So there's the TV that shows the football matches and all that. So sometimes after midnight they will show the black and white boxing films.
Yes.
And I was always my colleagues are all these abang, all these uncles,
Okay.
these pakcik all. They'll be talking about boxing like they've done it before. So it's like
Did they? No.
The thing is, I never thought that they might have not. So they were talking about it like, oh, Singapore boxing used to be so good. Syed Kadir here,
Yes,
Syed
yes.
Kadir there. He's the champion. It didn't even cross my mind to check whether to ask whether they've done it before
Yeah.
themselves. So they talk about it so much until
Okay.
I had no choice to feel like this is something that I need to do because I was still very young.
How old was that?
17, 18,
Right, okay.
16, 17, 18 lah.
Yeah.
So I googled, then I found out about Coach Kadir. Then I went to Mustafa Center one night with them. I bought like Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4. Watched it in one whole night. Then the next day I said, okay, I'm going to sign up for this. So that's why I met Coach Kadir.
So wow, what like it's weird in a way because it's just like listening to somebody talk about it.
Yeah.
And then with no sports background, no, just watching TV and then suddenly you just
Yeah, correct. The thing is, they're
weird.
talking to me about punches, defense, or what they should do, what you should do, what I should do. But then they've never boxed before in their lives, so
Right,
and they've never
right.
even they never come to my fights ever.
And before that you didn't watch Rocky, come on.
No,
No? Wow, that's one of my favorites,
yeah, I
man.
mean I know about it, but I've never
Okay.
wanted to watch.
So how did you find Rocky, by the way? I need to ask you this.
Inspiring.
Yeah.
Very motivational. I thought the first one was boring when I was younger because I wanted a lot of action,
Correct,
right?
correct,
So there was just a lot of talking and all that.
Yes.
Rocky spoiled my image for boxing at first because I thought when I would I thought boxing was going to be super fun. Then when
Okay.
I joined boxing, it was like, man, this is boring. It's
Oh,
just doing the same thing again and again and again.
Right.
You know, like when Rocky runs, the whole neighborhood runs behind him. I'm like, I'm like 5 a.m. running, nobody's behind me.
Where do you live, by the way? At that
Then I
time?
was in Pasir Ris.
So you wanted people to run around you in Pasir Ris, lah?
Not really lah. It was scary though to run in the morning by 6 a.m.
You're right. Danisha, how about you? Tell us your story about boxing. How did you start?
Okay, so I was a curious teenager.
Okay.
Like I was actually in netball in poly, and then after that I quit because I think I wasn't good enough. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I googled boxing gyms because I wanted to try combat sports.
Okay.
And then there were a list of gyms lah. Then Legends Fight Sport came,
Okay.
I think, at the top few. Then I just called. And I think they just gave that very homely, like no
Okay.
ego vibe. So I was like, okay lah, I just sign up.
When was
Yeah.
this? Which year was this?
2014.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. When you were still fighting, lah, basically, right?
Yeah, I was still fighting.
Yeah.
Then the gym also just opened.
So at that time, you didn't know her, right? When she came first, and did you know about Ridhwan then?
No.
No?
He was the one who, I think he signed me up.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
with my cousin.
so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, it's another like weird kind of story in a nice way, lah, basically, right? Because how did you find, like, just Google and then, like, it's weird, right? And you wanted to quit on the first day, right? Or you didn't want to go, right? The first day.
Yeah. So basically, last time it was in North Canal, and it was just I think a staircase up.
Right.
And then I brought my cousin down, and then I was like, oh shit, I think I'm a bit scared lah. I don't want to go out already.
Okay.
And she's like, no, you bring me all the way here. I think you better go out. Yeah, she forced me up. Yeah.
I want to ask you about this, right? When you go up into a gym, like a boxing gym, right? What does it feel like? Like because of the smell and you know, it's a real gym.
It's a gritty place.
Yes. What goes into your mind, especially the first time when you go in there?
I think what caught me was like heavy bags hanging. I was like,
Right.
wow, you know, like this is like something that I see in movies or pictures.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I was
Yes.
like, oh, this is so real. Yeah. And then the smell, definitely there was a smell because it's a gym.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I turned right. There's a small tiny office. Yeah.
And your parents didn't know about this, or did they?
I told my mom that I want to sign up for boxing. Then here and there we are like, okay, then she agreed to it. But it was just purely on like fitness,
Recreational kind of.
stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When did you know that it was kind of like serious, like you wanted to take it up
I
seriously?
think after my first sparring, 6 months later.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you,
Then after I think Legends hosted an event in Safra Tampines.
Okay.
Then he asked me, I still remember, you're next or something, like you want to fight next or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Then the following year, I think November 29.
Yes.
Yeah. Then again,
see.
yeah.
Nice. Ridhwan, I read, or not, did I read? I watched this on YouTube about you, you know, and you were talking about your very first fight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you remember that. And when Mr. Syed Kadi threw in the white towel,
Mm-hmm.
right? Tell us the story for people who are watching this at home and listening to this.
Okay, so like I said, I find boxing very boring. But then for some reason, for that one day, as I was walking to the gym, I said, you know what, this is going to be my last session, boxing, because I don't think it's
Okay.
for me. So as I walk to the gym, Coach Kadi happens to be at the gate, and he was like coming to me excited. Hey, what? There's a fight. 2 months. You want to join? Not? And so I said, okay. So this is like on the day that I wanted to quit.
After how long was that from your first time when you just stepped into the
I
gym?
think it was like 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I prepared for it to the best possible way. Back then, YouTube wasn't the big thing yet. So
Okay.
I think in my mind it was like the movies. So I thought it was quite easy. There's no way you can go wrong. So on that day, I have the ultimate confidence I will win.
Okay.
Like there's no way I'm going to lose.
Right.
So it's supposed to be a beginner's competition or
Yes.
something.
Yes.
So when I came into the ring, still very confident I will win.
Yeah.
Then I got hit on the face. I feel a teardrop. Then my nose hurt so bad. Then I felt, it felt horrible.
This was the first round.
First round.
Okay.
First round, less than 1 minute. Then
Wow.
the next thing I know, a towel flew into the ring.
Okay.
So we surrendered. I
Yeah.
went to the toilet. I cried.
Yeah.
I came out. Then Coach Kadi came up to me and he said, don't be disappointed. It's my decision to stop the fight.
Yep.
We'll come back to fight another day.
At that time, when he said that you come back to fight another day, and you knew that you lost, basically,
Mm.
you know, you got beaten up, although it's like the first round, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to come back? At that point,
Yeah.
you did.
I think that was one of the biggest, most important fight in my career, because I think if I would have won that fight, I might think that I know boxing is easy. I didn't train as hard, and I have won. And I think that what got me really into the sport was the people. I mean, the students at Kadir's boxing school back then, and Coach Kadir. I wasn't even close to him, but he said something like, "Oh, I treat you like my son.
Yeah.
So it's my job to protect you."
Right.
So I guess, and the next thing I know, Monday onwards, I was back in the gym training.
Right. I love that story because of the last point that you made, you know, and viewers who are listening to this, and my students as well, if you're listening to this, it's great. It's a great story, not because you won, right? Because you lost. And that was the best fight, or not best fight, it's the most important fight.
Most important, for sure.
You know, I think that's very important. It's a failure, right? But it's how you get back up, and it's a difficult loss to take, because your first fight and you lost, and it could have gone either way. Like okay, I'm gone, I'm finished, I'm done.
Yeah, correct.
Or you could have like how you did it, you know, and woke up. It's brilliant. I just want to touch on one point. You said that the training part when you first joined, the 6 months or whatever it was boring. Why, Danisha? Why is it boring? Do you know why it was boring?
Well, I don't
Was
know
it boring
him.
for you?
Not really. Yeah, because I think there was a lot of things to learn.
Okay.
I'm a boring person, basically. I like to do like repetitive. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, fine.
You don't like you like routine.
Yeah, I like routine stuff.
Are
yeah,
you a Taurus, by the way?
No.
No.
Gemini.
Right.
Yeah.
And why was it boring for you?
Like I said, so I refer boxing to all these movies that I've been watching.
Okay.
And,
Spoiled lah by them.
Yeah,
actually.
spoiled by them. So like, I was expecting more like sparring on the first day, fights.
Yes.
So what I got was just running before the session,
Okay.
skipping,
Okay.
lots of shadow boxing, no hitting the backs at all,
Okay.
until they say that I'm going to be fighting.
Yeah.
So from then on, I realized, okay lah, it's boring, but I guess it's something more.
It's like something like Mr. Miyagi, right? Wax on, wax off. We never touch the opponent for the longest time, right?
Then, and back then we don't have any examples to to follow.
Nice.
We don't have a lot of seniors.
Right. Now let's talk about the sport of boxing specifically. You know, I think this is a very good part, and I like talking about it. Now, people say it's a dangerous and brutal sport, right? What's your take on it? Danisha, we start off with you. What do you think?
I honestly think that there's a difference between amateur and professional. I only can put reference to amateur because I only box amateur, right?
Yep.
I feel like it's pretty safe because you're given headgears. Your gloves are pretty padded up.
Yep.
I have friends who are from rugby and all that. They get more injuries as compared to myself.
Good point.
So honestly, I don't think so. It's a dangerous sport. Yeah.
Ridhwan?
I think like any other sport, there's always danger. But I think a lot of there's enough safety measures to protect the boxer.
Okay.
It's not a sport where we encourage the boxer to be violently beaten up.
Okay.
There are rules like where the boxer shows that even if the punches don't hurt, the head gets snapped back, or they show that they are not able to defend themselves. The fight can be stopped at any time.
Right.
Especially for amateur boxing.
You compare it to MMA. What's the danger levels? I mean, in your opinion, I mean, I don't know what science.
I haven't watched an amateur MMA fight, or I don't really know much about it. But MMA that I've seen is like UFC stuff.
Yes.
So that's professional.
Right.
So professional is more about entertainment.
Right.
So even like professional MMA and professional boxing is almost similar. It's not. It's like the same with amateur, but at the same time different.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of entertainment value. The referee won't just stop the fight easily. So there's a lot of risk lah. Smaller gloves. A lot of money is involved on the networking, sponsors, so they can't just stop the fight like that.
Nice. That's a good point as well you made. And you once said that boxing is a lonely sport. Why so?
Like I said, I didn't have the kids running behind me.
True.
Yeah, I guess for me, at the end of the day, as I get older, I realize that it's a lonely sport, but at the end of the day, you still have a team.
Yeah.
I guess it gets really lonely when suffering defeat, because at the end of the day, like, you don't have anybody else to blame. You have yourself, and you have to battle yourself most days, most nights when you're alone.
Yeah, interesting. Danisha, do you think it's a lonely sport?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, like what he said, you have your friends around you.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you are the only one in the ring. You have full control of what you are capable of, and for your victories and failures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I always think, right, as a fighter at any sport or at any level, as a fighter, right, MMA or whatever sport, right, you need to be a special kind of breed, a special kind of person physically and especially mentally up here. Because I'm just thinking, right, like walking up to the ring before a fight, you know, whatever music you play on to motivate you and your music, your own music or whatever, you're just walking up. What goes into your mind and head? Because you need to be someone special. Do you think so, Ridwan?
I think so. I think those at the high level really enjoy the pressure. Like for me,
Yeah.
I enjoy it. The more people say that I can't win, the more risky the fight is. I feel that I really want to get into it. I mean, I feel the nerves. It's not that I'm not scared I don't feel that I feel nervous, but I really want it. Like I want to get in there and show and put on a show. It's not like I want this to be done and over with. It's like I want it. Hey, I want one more round. It's too fast.
Right.
So it's like the mindset, I guess, is different. I guess
different.
I guess for different boxers handle it differently, but for me, I handle it like this is what I want. This is what I love. This is where I perform. This is where I can be myself.
Danisha, do you fear before a fight?
I fear, how to say, not because I feel like I'm going to lose or whatsoever, but it's generally the anxiety when you go into the ring, because you know you want to perform, right?
Yeah.
That kind of like fear.
But once it gets going with the ring goes, the
so
bell
once
goes.
the first bell rings,
Right.
then everything just disappears. Yeah.
Right. Interesting. What are the different weight categories? You are in which weight category, by the way?
Featherweight. For the amateurs and pros are different, but generally for the amateurs, it starts from 48 kilos, I think. 48, 51, 54, 57, 60.
So you are in the featherweight, which is which?
57 kilos.
57. Right. How about you, Danisha?
I am at 48 kilos. They used to call it light fly. Now it's called minimum weight.
Right.
Yeah.
Now this part about cutting weight part. How does this work, man? Like, it's I've heard stories. I've watched shows. Right. It's crazy the way and is it true, like how you watch in a movie? Like how do you cut weight? It's like, what is the worst you've been in a situation like that when you had to cut weight and you think that, oh, this is tough, man? Have you ever?
I think cutting weight is always a terrible feeling, because you need to cut weight, you need to eat less, you need to drink minimal, but at the same time you need to perform during training. But I'm not an expert at diet and nutrition, because right now I think there are like dietitians which encourage you to eat and drink lots of water. They call it water loading and stuff like that. And the athletes are still losing a lot of weight.
How?
So I have no idea. I don't know. There's a science behind it, but I didn't look into it.
Right.
No, back then for me it was just my version of diet is just eat less. Less rice, less this. So I will avoid red meat, just fish, vegetables, no rice, no carbs, no food after 5 p.m. Very minimal water. Coffee without milk and sugar.
So where do you get the energy from if you don't take your carbs? No, I'm just like I'm talking in terms of the layman, right? Looking in and you're trying to cut weight, but then you're training every day as well. And how does this work, man?
I don't know. I can explain.
How about you? Do you face problems in cutting weight?
Back then when I first started, not really. But then like this past few years, I've been I think I got a bit fat lah. So I was struggling to cut weight. So like you said, I usually, like what I do also, I don't really follow like a strict I need to eat this much calories. I just eat less. Cut out my carbs. Drink less water whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah.
That's and it's true. Okay, that's the food part, right? But in terms of the training part of, obviously you train to lose weight as well, you know, the cutting weight part. So do you have to wear those what jacket is that?
The sauna suit. We call it sauna suit, where I guess we use that the last few weeks or last few days when we really need to lose the remaining amount of water in the body.
Ridwan, this was another interesting thing that I picked up as well from I think it was an article, right? You said most of the power in boxing comes from your legs. Right, not your hands. Again, another thing that laymen at home watching in and listening to this as well, you might think boxing is boxing, right? Use your hands, use your fists, your forearms or whatever it takes, right? Why legs?
Because the legs is your fundamentals. The legs carry your body weight, so you need to have a lot of balance. It's the same thing as like you got a rock or you got a heavy stone and you want to throw it. You don't just use your hands. You have to use your whole body to throw it the maximum. The maximum distance that you can.
Right.
So to me, the legs I think all boxers will agree the legs is everything in boxing.
Right. So you do loads of leg training as well. The running comes into it as well.
A lot of sprints, a lot of jumps, a lot of explosive squat jumps, burpees.
Skipping.
Skipping is more for agility, timing, coordination.
This is a question that I want to ask you guys as boxers, right? Danisha, can all boxers skip first of all?
I think they should be at least able to skip, right?
How about the double, whatever you call double skip?
Unders?
Double unders?
Yeah.
Every boxer can do that?
No lah, not every
No?
boxer. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, no.
And then what do you call the
crisscross.
The crisscross. Can every boxer do that?
I don't think so.
I don't think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that one just comes with practice. Once they get the feel of it, then they just want to show off a bit. Good for the video.
That's good for the video,
Yeah,
man.
good for the video.
Okay, great. That's a question that I always wanted to, obviously with Rocky and all, been spotted by Rocky, he does that like it's class, man. Next question: in a fight between rounds, when you go out there and you're sitting down, it's 3 rounds, 3 minutes, right? By the way,
3 minutes for the men.
Yeah, and then when you sitting there and your coach tells you something, can you even concentrate while you're breathing hard and you're trying to keep alive? And can you even concentrate? Can you even take in what the coach is telling you?
I guess it depends on the situation. I guess if you are used to hearing your coach voice during training, if you have a good relationship with your coach, so there will be that connection. So no matter how tired you are, you will still get to absorb some of the information. But of course, the coach shouldn't be like giving you like a composition in between rounds. You only got 1 minute, so they can afford to only give maybe 5 keywords or 1 sentence reminders to stick to the strategy or the plan or things that you shouldn't do.
Right. You should know now because now you're a coach, right?
Yeah.
It's on the other side of the fence. Danisha, don't lie, right? Have you ever shut out anything that the coach says during? between rounds?
I think the first few fights, it took me a while to get used to Ridhwan's voice and like my corner. Yeah, but after a while, when the crowd's very noisy, right, you can still shut them out and still hear your corner. Yeah. It takes a few fights, lah. Yeah.
Right. It's interesting, man. I want to ask you, Danisha, any misconception about boxers? Have you heard of any misconception or myth or whatever you've heard about about boxers that isn't true?
A lot. Yeah. So basically, the one most common one is oh, you're so small. Are you sure you're a boxer?
Okay.
Then I have to educate them. Oh, boxing have different weight class.
Educate them.
Yeah. It's like, I fight at the lightest weight. That's why I'm very small.
But that just trying to take the mickey out of them, lah, basically.
Yeah.
Right?
But it's annoying. It's like, don't expect me to be big, right?
Right. How about you, Ridhwan? Okay, what's the worst misconception, lah? The worst that you heard about yourself, even?
About myself, I don't know if it's called a misconception, but I don't like it when somebody asks me who are you fighting, then I say a Thai guy or Filipino boxer. Then they will say, oh, should I lose? Because they want it more than us. Because they are poor, they are hungry. Yeah, so I really hate this.
Okay.
I don't think this should be a reason for. I guess it helps in someone's character to be like they really want the success. But doesn't mean just because I have an education, doesn't mean just because I have a business, just because everything is a bit more comfortable for me, that I am less hungry to win.
Yeah. It's a very good point. This is a very good point because I was speaking to the Silat King of Singapore, right? And he was telling me about this as well. And I mean, not generalizing, but he says that kids nowadays and stuff like that, and comparing it to people from Thailand or whatever, and he's talking about the hunger as well. Do you think it's true as well? Like a little bit of that hunger, wanting to win. I don't know whether they're poor or whatever. They have that hunger more. They're more hungry.
I think it takes a lot more challenge for let's say somebody like Danisha. Okay, it's like she doesn't have to be boxing. She could be comfortable, but she chose to do it.
Right.
Like they have these kids from these other countries. Maybe they're just doing it because they got nothing else to do.
Okay.
They need to train so that they can eat. They get allowance or something.
Right.
We need to balance school. We need to balance family. We need to balance work.
True.
And we still choose to train 100%.
Right.
I guess that can make us a bit more mentally stronger as well because we chose to do it.
Nice. Danisha, who are your boxing heroes?
I don't have any.
No? How about you, Ridhwan? You watch a lot of classic matches, man. Come on.
Yeah, man. I like there's too many lah.
Okay. Just.
I guess the basic one would be Muhammad Ali because he changes the sport. He transcends the sport of boxing.
Yeah.
So obviously him.
Now let's go into competition, right? The competition that you guys took part in, and you know, Danisha, when you first started out, right, new to the scene, right, and you were first runner up in 2016 in the national
Yeah.
you know, championships, and then you were national champion in 2017. How did it feel to be a national champion after just googling about boxing? Like you know, did it really hit you, or was it a surreal feeling?
I think back then we didn't really have a lot of
Yeah.
women competing, so I would say generally it was a bit easier
Okay.
to get a medal finish or something
Right.
like that.
Right.
But I mean, obviously it felt really good lah
Okay.
to be at the top seat. Yeah.
Did it strengthen your resolve even further that okay, that this is it, man, I'm going full on? Like,
Yeah, definitely. I was like, oh, okay, maybe I have something in me, like maybe I
Yep.
can take it to the next level. Yeah, because back then when I was training, I think it was 2015 SEA Games in Singapore.
Yep.
Then I was like, wow, oh my god, this boxer Leona Fernie. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
okay, I want to be one of them, you know.
That's the one in
Yeah.
Singapore, right?
Yeah.
2015, right? Right. I want to ask you about her, right? When she was first coming up and all, and obviously you saw her then, right? Do you think there was natural ability first?
She was athletic,
Okay.
but I didn't know. I would never know that she really wanted it, because like she said, there
Okay.
weren't a lot of women competing, but she was going against one of Singapore's finest ladies,
Okay.
Leona Hui,
Right.
who's now
Yes.
the head of this whole Singapore women's boxing thing.
Okay.
So I think the first try we lost, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so we lost that one. Then the second one was really close.
Yeah.
Then the third one was really, it was really satisfying lah. I think
Right.
it's not just about winning the fight. Eventually,
Right.
they become really good friends.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
so
So there was talent. It's just about whether you want to make it or not. I mean, up here, the mental part, right?
yes.
The attitude and yeah.
Because back then I know Danisha, but I wasn't like close to her. Like,
Right.
so I wouldn't know how she is, how
Yeah.
hungry she is for it, like how gritty she can be.
Right.
Until much later,
It's very important, isn't it?
it's very important. These
that-
things you cannot. I guess these things just comes maybe whether you're given or not,
Yeah.
God given or not.
Right. It's you know, this is exactly what the podcast is all about anyway. You know, it's about the hustle as well. It's not about talent, right? The talent is you can have it, but without that
Talent is common.
yeah.
Talent is plenty. There's plenty of talented people. Even during my time, there were so many other talented boys.
Nice.
I guess the difference was just that between me and those who are still doing it,
Yeah.
we just keep showing up still every day.
Beautiful. Ridhwan, you won many fights, right? And of course, you lost some as well. Would you say being Singapore's first world boxing champion that you won in 2017 your best moment in terms of, you know, stature and, you know, putting you out there?
I guess that fight gave me a lot of new opportunities.
Yeah.
It wasn't the toughest fight,
Okay.
but it was an important fight to get the bigger fights that come after that.
Nice. Danisha, Legacy Boxing Championships, right? When you beat Australia's number 1, what was that like? This was recent, isn't it?
Yes, it was really recent.
Yeah.
It felt really good, especially when it was in a local crowd, right? Yeah.
Right.
And I had obviously Ridhwan in my
Yeah,
corner.
right.
That felt really good because usually when I go for international competitions, I don't really have that familiar voice, and
Yeah.
I think it's really important to have someone familiar, you know, in your
True.
corner. It really, really makes a lot of difference.
True.
Yeah. So just felt really happy, lah. Yeah.
Nice. This reminds me of Rocky. Rocky fought, right? And then he became a coach, right?
Yeah,
And
now
then-
I'm becoming
yeah.
Nagy like the coach.
Are you?
I think I am.
How is he as a coach, by the way? Tell me, Danisha. This is interesting.
I think it's very simple. Like, he doesn't. Okay, he might nag here and there. Maybe he's really nice to the girls. Yeah.
Okay, nicer lah, nicer to the
nicer
girls,
to the
yeah.
girls. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure with the guys. I think probably a bit more. Yeah.
What kind of a coach are you, by the way? In your opinion?
I think I can be very strict,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I feel like I'm flexible. I try to be their friend,
Okay.
so someone where they can come to tell me about
Yeah.
what problems they might face. So yeah.
Do you get irritated because of the standards that you? She's already laughing, smiling. The standards that you have gone through and you set for yourself, and then now for your fighters now under your wing, right? And your standards are up there, right? Do you get frustrated sometimes over things that they can't do, maybe?
I get annoyed not because of the things that they can't do.
Okay.
I think I get annoyed with those who show a lot of talent, a lot of promise, but they just chose not to rise up to the occasion. They just choose to be lazy, choose not to try, choose not to push.
Yeah.
That's what annoys me the most, because I know that I wasn't talented. I work so hard, and a lot of other boxers are trying. They're working so hard, but they just don't have the talent. And these people are just taking things for granted.
Excuses, isn't it? I
Yeah.
feel sometimes.
I can see the boxer, whether they're mentally strong or not, they will like cushion their fall. Like, you know, when they are gonna prepare to fight somebody who's good on paper, they will post on social media and say, oh, I'm going against this. Maybe
It's like an insurance kind of thing.
Yeah, this Asian game five-time champion or whatever champion. So when they lose, people say it's okay lah, you lost to the champion. So it's something that I notice, especially among the younger boxers.
This is a great seg because I want to ask you this, and I watched you on YouTube, and you said this. You know, let's talk about the SEA Games and your 3 bronzes, right? You said this. I am sick of people saying, okay, good try and good effort and blah 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 blah. You know, you tried hard, but you know, too bad you 3 bronzes. Tell me why you said this, because I love this part. Tell me why you said this. Like why are you sick of people saying this to you?
Because I think I know that's not what they really wanted to say. I think I know they have maybe more real things, more real words that they could have used, but they just don't want to hurt my feelings. Maybe.
Okay.
I guess I'm the kind of person who, at that point of time, maybe you can. I appreciate them being kind with their words, but at the same time, at some point of time, I need somebody to tell me, you know what, you need to wake up. You need to stop being the victim. You need to stop being sad.
Yep.
You have to wake up, because I guess if I hear those words from them back then, that could have pushed me forward faster, or like make me make an effort to really push myself.
Because you didn't feel that way.
Yeah, I feel that way.
You didn't feel that you know, I had, you know, you think that if somebody had said to you that maybe it was a little bit harsher in a way, you could have gotten maybe a goal in the maybe the second one or the third one.
Yeah, I think no, it's not about the goal. It's about stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop blaming the system. Stop blaming.
Did you blame at that time the system and whatever it
yeah,
could be?
a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit.
What was it about the system?
I feel like there wasn't a lot of support for the athletes. It's not in terms of money.
Okay.
It's in terms of structure. In terms of a coach to guide.
Which is true anyway. Which is true. But you thought that
it's not like the coaches didn't try their best. The coaches did their best, but I guess they also have
there's limitations.
Yeah, there's limitations. They have to work. They have to do other things also. So
I like that part, because you know why? Because you know, I was an athlete as well, and I don't like people patronizing me. Like telling you it's okay, man. It's third, but sorry to use the word, right? But nobody will you know, understand you as a fighter who wants to win it. You know,
I guess because we have high standards for ourselves, so nobody should have like higher standards for what they expect from us.
Yeah. And nobody remembers the person who gets third and second and what have you, right? It's the truth anyway, you know, and nothing to. It's great. That's a great point. SEA Games goal for you in the future, Danisha?
Hopefully, I mean, if that's the ultimate aim lah. But then, if it's not me, then I hope the future generation that they are currently grooming.
Where's next year, right? The next one.
Next year.
What's her chances from the coach? You don't want to say it now.
I'm confident of her abilities lah.
Yeah.
I've always said that the next SEA Games gold medal will come from a lady.
Yeah. As in from us, Singapore, from a lady.
Yes.
Wow, we will talk about the ladies later on. Okay, just a little bit about that. Nice. Let's talk about judges a little bit. We're talking about competitions as well, right? How do they call fights, by the way? Because it's subjective, isn't it? Like, is it subjective? Or it's
right now it's subjective. I feel before it's like if I punch a clean punch, then the 3 judges press a certain color, red or blue. At the same time, within 0.5 seconds or something, then they will be considered a point. But right now, if you win the fight, if you win the round, you get 10 points. The loser will get 9 points. So if you get a knockdown, there will be if you win, you get 10. The person will get 8.
So that's now. It's something like the UFC as well. They take it as a general round. They win by rounds, right?
There's good and bad. The bad thing about the previous system where they count point by point, like blow by blow, is because once the boxers feel like they were winning, right? They won't take risk anymore. They just keep running and running and running and running.
Right.
So this system, I guess, makes the sport a bit more entertaining. So even though like you are winning, you still need to put an effort to fight.
Right.
It forces the boxers to fight.
Have you ever felt like being robbed before?
No, really. Honestly,
You thought all your decisions were...
I think they're okay. Yeah.
How about you, Ridhwan?
For sure.
Yeah.
There were times,
many times or...
a few, not many.
How about the SEA Games? Did you?
No, SEA Games I wasn't robbed.
Yeah?
SEA Games when I lost I lost.
Okay.
But there were smaller tournaments where
Okay.
where I lost, but then at the end of the day, the organizers came up to me and gave me a best boxer trophy because they apologized for
Was this in Singapore?
No,
Oh,
overseas.
okay.
Because
okay.
their boxer is
Okay.
a national person, so they need their guy to win to go to the SEA Games.
Wow.
But then they apologized, gave me a consolation trophy.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Okay. See, interesting. Something that we all didn't know listening to this and watching this at home. Nice. Let's go into the coaching bit and stuff like that. Ridhwan, you are the national coach now, right?
Yes, I am.
And you also the head coach of the Singapore women's boxing community. Right?
Yes.
How has coaching been like after the transition? Like from being a professional and then you quit, retired. How has the transition? Is it been easy or it's tough?
I guess I transitioned easily. It's not as bad. It's not bad at all actually. I like it. It's a meaningful thing to do.
Okay.
But it takes a lot of my energy, my mental
Yeah.
energy, my mental capacity.
Right.
It's very physical. It's a physical job as well, and you have to be mentally strong. Not just for one boxer. You have like 10 boxers.
Yeah.
Simple thing like if I send a team to fight, like I send 5 of them, like 3 of them, if 3 of them lose, right, they will be just heartbroken because of their one loss. I will have to be set for the 3 of them.
I see.
So it takes a lot to be strong for them as well.
Right. Interesting. Business wise, how has that been? You tell us about your gym.
I mean, Legends Fight Sport has been around since 2014. I can dare say Danisha is the first 10 members for the gym.
Right.
She's
She's the pioneer batch, man. Nice.
Because of the COVID, it's up and downs.
Okay.
Good months, bad months.
Right.
But we've been surviving. We've been okay. We got a lot of support from the members, so that's great.
Where are you guys located, by the way?
We have 3 locations currently.
Okay.
We have in Clarke Quay, Hong Kong
Okay.
Street,
Right.
Tampines,
Okay.
at Yoha Tampines, and Serangoon.
You are Tampines, alright.
Mhm.
Okay. Which part of Serangoon?
Upper Serangoon.
Upper Serangoon.
Near to Upper Serangoon Shopping Centre. Is it the old one? The old shopping
okay.
centre.
You guys are there. Okay,
Yeah.
I live quite close. So what is it like? Tell the people at home, how do you join a boxing gym like yours? Like, do you need talent?
No. Okay, the thing about boxing gyms is I got questions like, so if I were to join this gym, do I have to defeat the coach?
What?
Yeah, I literally get these kind of messages on Instagram. I don't know whether they're trying to troll me or it's like a genuine question.
Okay.
So basically, you just search the gym. You ask. We offer a free trial. Like for
Okay.
Legends, we have an app, Legends SG app.
Okay.
You just get a free trial.
Okay.
Then just show up. Then get a feel of how the session is. Then the
Okay.
coaches will talk to you whether you want,
Okay.
whether you feel like you want to do it. Like for me, I never told my coaches to do hard selling.
Right.
So it's about really
Right.
being the best coach that you can. If people like it, then they will do it.
Nice. And what's the oldest fighter you have there? Not fighter.
Not fighter, but someone doing boxing right now is above 60, 65, 66.
65.
I used to have a client who has Parkinson's,
Wow.
a client on a wheelchair as well.
Seriously?
Yep.
Youngest?
Youngest we have 4 or 5 years old.
Nice.
Because we have a kids boxing academy as well.
Nice. Brilliant. Now let's talk about women's boxing, right? Danisha, what's the future like for women's boxing? Do you think, in your own opinion?
I think it's really, really bright.
Yeah?
Compared to when I first started, or even when the pioneer batch Leona first started, we have like, I would say 15 and more than that in the development team.
Yep.
Yeah, and really, we have even youth fighters, which we didn't really have back
Okay.
then. Yeah, so definitely, they can be groomed to become SEA Games gold medalists for sure.
You guys recruiting more?
We are always on the lookout for those who show talent, who show potential,
Yeah.
those who want to do it. So
Yeah.
I think that's most important. If
Nice.
they want to do it, we'll be there to support.
Women out there, please, if you feel like you can be the next Danisha even, why not, right? Ridhwan, tell us more about the Singapore women's boxing community, right? And what is the direction and the goals of that particular, yeah.
Okay, so the Singapore Women's Boxing Community Group is created by Leona Hui,
Okay.
former Singapore team boxer. So the goal was to increase the awareness, increase the level of the performance for the Singapore ladies. So we also have a community program where these ladies will probably never compete, but they just want to box together. So they all come from different gyms. They still with their own gyms, but they just come together where they can train together with all the ladies, because it's very hard to train 30 to 40 ladies together at the same time. So for this program, we have all the ladies from all parts of Singapore come together to train.
How often does this?
For now, the community program is once a week. Yeah, but I think they're going to increase to a few more, I think, in coming months. And also we are on the lookout to develop the Singapore Women's Development Team to eventually go into the elite level where Danisha is in now.
So you really do see talent in there, right?
Yes, for sure.
Right. And you just said it just now that the next SEA Games goal will come from a woman. You're so sure of that?
I believe it will be.
Why so? Why not the men?
Maybe because I've been working with the ladies a bit longer, so I know them a bit more better.
Right.
The men, I guess I don't know. It's very hard to say. It's difficult to pinpoint, but also I guess it takes a bit more time for me to work with them.
Right. What is it like in the NSA right now? It's called the Singapore Amateur Boxing Association.
I think right now it's called the Singapore Boxing Federation.
Federation, right?
Yeah, a lot of changes have been done.
Right.
A lot of reorganization. Some people have left.
Right.
So we have a lot of new faces. People who can really work. People who are new to the marketing stuff. People who can really do sales. People who can do PR. So we are really headed towards a good direction right now.
No, because the reason why I asked you is I'm not trying to be funny, because I was reading news and stuff like that, because it wasn't really right?
Yep.
Is it because of the people, or what was the problem? Because and it's not only for boxing. I see certain NSAs as well, like the athletes have to go for crowd funding or whatever, getting going out and appealing for funding just to take part in the SEA Games, for example, right? And it has happened before in boxing, right?
Yeah.
It's again, from someone looking from the outside, looking at an NSA competing in a SEA Games, and you going out to fund. Why was it? Why is it like that? It's.
I think it's based on people in the position not doing the jobs,
right?
Or maybe they just lack the knowledge, they lack the expertise to do it,
right?
But they just still holding on to that position, and not reaching out to the younger people to do the job.
Right. And things are looking up, especially for the ladies, and I wish you guys good luck, especially in that direction, Ridhwan and Danisha, and it's only good for the sport. And shout out to Leona as well, and doing a great job there as well, thank you. Before we wrap up, Ridhwan, I just want to ask you this, and then I'll ask Danisha as well. We start with Ridhwan. Advice for any up and coming boxers trying to make it big here.
First, you gotta love what you do. You have to do it because you want it, not because your mom tell you, your dad tell you, or society tells you. Because there will be, the truth is, as you come up, there will be a lot of reasons to quit. There will be not many reasons for you to stay. So if you love it, I guess it's a bit more easier for you to persevere and work on the basics, because the basics will win you fights.
What are the reasons anyone will quit?
I guess the pressure to have a 9-to-5 job, the pressure of keeping up with school, and to also at the same time balance elite level performance of training and competition. And I've always told my boxers to say that always treasure the moments now here with the team, because no matter how supportive your family is, your friends are, there will come a point of time where they won't understand why you're still doing what you do, and you still have your teammates, because only you all can understand why you are still doing this.
Beautiful. Danisha, any advice for women who want to take up the sport first? Start Googling.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think the first step is to basically join the women's boxing community. We're not forcing you to fight, just learn the art, get some training in, exercise, fitness, recreation.
How does anyone sign up first? Like if let's say like a 16-year-old lady who wants to, how do you sign up?
So the women's boxing community has a Instagram page. You can just message, send a
right.
PM.
To Leona. Yeah?
It's controlled
Yeah,
by
I think the
Leona and-
Instagram handle is SG Women's Boxing.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so they just send a DM, and
Right.
Leona will be behind that
Yeah.
to arrange and to welcome them.
Sorry to cut you short. Yeah, go on. Any advice for ladies who wants to...
to pursue boxing, yeah, go for it. Like I said earlier, it's not dangerous. So don't worry about going home with bruises and concussions or whatsoever. I mean, in the future you never know. But then for now, just go. You need to try in order to know how it is, right? Yeah. So just.
Danisha and the Chosen One, Ridhwan, thank you so much for being on episode 74 of the Silverfox Hustle podcast. It has been truly fun for me, informational as well. Not only for me and the people watching at home and listening to this as well. Lots to take from this episode, because it's not only the talent, and I always say this even to my students, it's the work. You got to put in the work.
Yep.
Because if you don't put in the work, you'll never, even know what you can
for
become,
sure.
right? And again, thank you so much, Ridhwan.
Thank you for having us.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
thank
Danisha.
you.
This has been episode number 74 of the Silverfox Hustle podcast. Again, before you leave listening to this and watching this, just click on the follow button, subscribe button. We are out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and the works. Till the next episode, the hustle beats talent when talent doesn't hustle. Cheers.